PSL Federal Credit Union.
Upper 60s to right around 70 degrees, 69 in Rochester right now, mostly clear skies. A decent day to start off the month of June. That's right, we are moving along to June, meteorological summer. Warm overnight, but look at that last word there, showers, rain showers in the forecast. Timing of those coming up in my full forecast.
I'm totally here for justice. I'm here for the black community. I'm with them. I stand with them. I support them. I will always fight for them.
Another protest in response to the death of George Floyd in Minneapolis. That's happening right now in Rochester. We'll have a live report from the scene.
Plus, 6 community leaders are here with us today to talk about frustration and violence in Rochester and across the country. The unrest in Rochester Town Hall begins this hour.
From the team you can trust, this is News 8 at 5.
Over the weekend, in a matter of just minutes, Rochester protests that remained peaceful for hours turned into this. Several cars flipped over and damaged. Some police cars also targeted. Good evening to all of you. That was Saturday. Yesterday, a day of relative calm. Today, another protest happening right now in downtown Rochester. The people there joining with people all over the world who are remembering George Floyd. Floyd died while being restrained by a Minneapolis police officer. The officer had his knee on Floyd's neck for more than 8 minutes. An autopsy today found he died of asphyxiation.
At this very moment, people are peacefully protesting in downtown Rochester. It's all happening in front of the Hall of Justice, and our Kayla Green is there now. Kayla, it appears to be going without incident. What's happening?
Yes, Maureen, the protest took a little while to get started and the crowd did end up growing, but it actually just wrapped up here a few minutes ago. You can actually still see some of the protesters sitting there on the grass taking a drink of water after being out here for quite a few hours. The protest ended with a powerful moment here. People were trying to walk down here closer to the public safety building, and police lined the street blocking them while they chanted, "Why can't we walk?" Now, as I said, it took a while for this to get started. There were rumors circulating all day about whether or not it was happening, and it turns out it was postponed, but a group of about 30 or 40 people showed up and demonstrated anyway. I think the message wasn't super clear. That's why I think it's kind of taking a second to form and stuff. Katie Bone arrived at the Hall of Justice around 2 o'clock, ready for a Black Lives Matter protest she heard about on Instagram. Rumors were circulating about it being postponed. Kavana Buchanan says she knew it was canceled, but showed up anyway.
We would love to be here. It was supposed to be a peaceful protest, a sit-in, if you are familiar with it. So even if we have to sit on the sidewalk for as long as possible, anything that we can do.
The group decided to stay and have their voices heard. They've been chanting Black Lives Matter, hands up, don't shoot, and I can't breathe. At one point, they all laid on the ground with their hands behind their backs, chanting George Floyd's name for 8 minutes to honor him. Buchanan says she's here because she's experienced these issues firsthand.
A lot of people think that this protest are the riots and the looting. And I just want the people of Rochester to understand that a lot of these people care about our community.
Bone says she'll stay as long as the protest lasts, in solidarity with the black community.
I'm totally here for justice. I'm here for the black community. I'm with them. I stand with them. I support them. I will always fight for them. They have been oppressed for thousands of years, and there hasn't been a change, and the priority is change.
The Monroe County Hall of Justice, where the protest did take place, actually closed early today because they had heard information that the protest would be happening. It ended up being smaller than many people did expect because, as I said, it was postponed, but they still did demonstrate for a few hours here. Live in Rochester, Kayla Green, News 8.
All right, Kayla, thank you. Quite a different scene than from Saturday. Rochester police now releasing pictures of some of the 11 people they say set fire to police cars and other city-owned property outside outside the public safety building after that huge peaceful demonstration. So these are 4 of the 11 suspects they're trying to identify and bring to justice again for the violence that happened outside the public safety building and after the huge rally. The remaining pictures can be found on our website of the other suspects they're looking for. If you have any information, you're asked to call Rochester Police at 423-9300.
Violence achieves nothing. That was the message from Rochester church leaders today. Rebecca Fath spoke with them and filed this report for us.
They had a lot to say. One of the main points, looting and violence is not the way to honor George Floyd.
Please stop the criminal and violent behavior.
A passionate outcry from Reverend Stewart, president of the United Christian Leadership Ministry.
Go home. Yes. Stay in the house. Yes. Get an education.
Stewart says his organization meets often with Police Chief Laurent Singletary. He says they talk about outreach and racial tension here in Rochester. Reverend Stewart called racism a pandemic. He says it's just like COVID-19.
We have 2 diseases existing concurrently, which we must combat. One is COVID-19, and the other is the disease of racism 2020.
Stewart says police officers should be psychologically evaluated more often.
And I've always advocated that police need a psychological every 6 months. Many of them who become police officers come from out of the military. They come back with post-traumatic stress disorder or syndrome. And then some of them take it out against our own people.
A spokesperson for the police department tells us the Rochester Police Department is always concerned with officer health and wellness, and we are open to any suggestions that can reasonably be applied. Adding, the department offers an officer assistance program to all members. More advice from religious leaders today: learn about racism and study Black history. Downtown, Rebecca Fath, News 8.
Rebecca, thank you. Governor Cuomo spent most of his news conference today talking about the protests across the country. He says he shares the outrage of the protesters, but still strongly criticized the violence.
And there's no excuse for it. And no right-minded American would make an excuse for it. So protest, yes. Be frustrated, yes. Outraged, yes, of course. And is there a larger problem? Of course. It's not just Mr. Floyd. It goes back, there are 50 cases that are just like Mr. Floyd.
This follows yesterday's continued protests in New York City. Peaceful demonstrations were held yesterday afternoon and turned violent after the sun went down. The governor is concerned that the protests may further spread the COVID-19 virus and potentially work to undo some of the progress the state has made up to this point.
Well, you just heard from the Reverend Stewart in Rebecca Fath's story a moment ago. He is one of Rochester's longest-serving faith leaders, and he says we still have a long way to go for equality. Christian Garzone also spoke with the Reverend Stewart today, who compared the weekend protests to things he saw in the 60s.
Well, Reverend Stewart has been a community leader since the civil rights movement of the 1960s. He says while the protests of that era have much in common with events today, they are very different, too. Lewis says much of what we saw over the weekend, while taking place across the nation, were organized on local levels. He added issues during the civil rights movement, like police brutality, didn't always take the spotlight, but they certainly are in 2020. He says changing attitudes and confronting racial intolerance will be done by diverse sets of people working together for justice and educating others about the need for justice. Lewis praised President Lyndon Johnson's civil rights efforts in 1964 and compared him to President Donald Trump in 2020. Lewis says the need for leadership and discussions on race relations on a national level are needed now more than ever.
Until we have a leader that can lead us and guide us and call for a moral conversation on racism, we're going to continue to have this particular problem.
Lewis also said the whole coronavirus pandemic has undermined a lot of futures for black Americans. But he says on a local level is where people can organize and make those futures bright once again. In Rochester, Christian Garzone, News 8, back to you in the studio.
In less than 30 minutes, News 8 will host a special town hall on the unrest in Rochester. Public Defender and Inclusion Officer Danielle Ponder, Ken Morris Jr., the great-great-great-grandson of Frederick Douglass and head of the Frederick Douglass Family Initiative, Locust Club President Mike Mazzio, that's the president of the police union, and several others will take part. See it live right here beginning at 5:30.
Also, the candidates running for New York's 27th congressional district seat are preparing to face off. News 8, along with our sister station in Buffalo, will be hosting a debate between Chris Jacobs and Nate McMurray. That's going to be Tuesday, June 9th at 7 p.m. You can watch it right here on News 8, or it's going to be live streamed over at rochesterfirst.com, so you can watch it online.